Walrein going to be investing that Protect Shield and going for the world's most aggressive farm down, looking to leave at 100 energy. So if Morpeko wishes to return, it can play the bait game. Who isn't going to bait Morpeko? Well, if you know anything about my playstyle, I'm full sending. Does the opponent respect the damage? Welcome back to the channel. I've got to get something off my chest. I think this week has been one of the worst weeks for Pokemon Go PvP content I have ever seen. Bearing in mind I've been making content for over 3 years. We currently have 2 leagues to choose from. The Scroll Cup, I've got to say, I think this is one of the worst metas we have ever seen. It is right up there with both Electric and Psychic type Cup. There's all of about 8 Pokemon running around and it's turned into an RPS nightmare. We've got the Open Master League. I love Shoutcast and Open Master League, but it's currently ruined as Kyurem, or as I like to call it, Kyurem, is essentially dominating. Yesterday, my YouTube feed had 4 videos about Keldeo, and the day before it was Kyurem here, Kyurem there, and Kyurem every fucking where. Believe it or not, I'm not just someone who likes to make content. I love to watch Pokemon Go content as well, and I'll be honest, I am so bored. I have nothing to watch. So if anyone's got any ideas on how I can make some unique content to fill the last few days of this god-awful rotation, post it down below. I will run absolutely anything just to provide some entertainment. With that in mind today, I'm trying to make an entertaining shoutcast of my own battles running a triple shadow, triple water team. Let me tell you, this team is awful. Do not attempt it. But without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, I lead Shadow Quagsire, the best mud boy in the Open Great League, or any league for that matter, into Toxapex, a very nice lead. Out comes Mandibuzz, and I send out Walrein. So you might ask yourself, why am I running this team, or how did I come up with a team idea? Well, I've run triple water in other formats. Walrein is essentially looking to hard punish Mandibuzz, one of the 2 most common picks in the meta, and Gyarados is looking to hunt Gastrodon, the second or maybe the first common pick. You can kind of flip Mandibuzz and Gastrodon. I'm not sure which one's more common, but they are on almost every team. Shadow Walrein's ranked 63rd on pvpokes, and to be honest isn't actually too bad. It dominates Mandibuzz and it's got Earthquake coverage for all of them poison types. Speaking of which, we reached the departing Earthquake, putting this Toxapex below half health. Shadow Gyarados, on the other hand, is ranked 163rd. Outside of Gastrodon, it isn't very good. Despite running triple water, I'm not actually triple weak to grass. Gyarados only takes neutral, but someone forgot to tell Gyarados that. I am getting torn apart by these Razor Leaves. The damage is disgusting. I actually take the extra hit as the opponent left with a charge move. I anticipate them throwing, so I may as well have took the extra mud shot. The opponent smartly go for the extra Razor Leaf, and it looks like that is a very smart play on their part. Despite almost having the perfect alignment in this battle, it's going to end up being far closer than I would have liked, but regardless, we're going to get the job done, and we're off to a 1-0 start. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we'll lead the Quagman into Annihilate. So Quagsire's role on the team is to beat Morpeko, as of course the back 2 Pokemon don't want to see an electric type or whatsoever. Outside of that, I think Lantern's probably the only electric type you might see. Of course, I could have run Annihilate, which would have been a much better team comp, but I've already showcased that and everyone's running it. The opponent smartly go for the close combat. If they had a Rage Fist, I would have been able to survive and obtain myself an early shield advantage. Out comes Drapion. I am going to invest the Protect Shield, as Gyarados cannot take a hit to save its life. We're then going to farm up, look to make the catch onto Walrein, and hope that's Powder Snow farm down range. As the opponent's still got 2 shield, I definitely should have Aqua Tailed first. I don't know why I didn't, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. Other than being a complete potato at this point, I'm unable to Powder Snow farm down. No point in shielding Walrein, as I just get farmed down by Annihilate. Gyarados does get that farm down. The opponent still with 2 shields, and out comes Skuntank. Fight a double Dark Poison, the team I showcased about 2 days ago. We get absolutely clapped, but GG's to that opponent. And if you're watching, nice team comp. In the next battle, things off to a much better start. Hard win lead and hard punish the opponent on the save switch. Did I tell you this cup's RPS? Toxapex will likely be returning. I think most battlers here would farm to the Earthquake and bait with the Icicle Sphere. That's a pretty clever play, because it would maybe scare the opponent into dumping some energy rather than fully farming down. However, I'm not a fan of baiting, because every time you master bait, a poor defenseless cat loses its life. I full send the Earthquake, and at this point the opponent is going to get a huge farm down. I may as well throw this Icicle Sphere. Not that it's going to do much, but all chip damage is welcome. Quagsire can tank multiple brines. I send out the Quagman, out comes Chestnut. This thing is definitely the nemesis for this team. Almost all Chestnut in this meta have Thunder Punch, including this one. I am going to fire off the Aqua Tail, looking to force the final Protect Shield or just get the damage. The opponent tanked the move, which means I can now 2 shield, fully Dragon Breath farm down. And then when Toxapex returns, I'm going to commit to the crunch, looking to force some of that never-ending energy they've got. Back out comes Toxapex. If they actually brine, we might be able to get off the crunch. If I survive and don't reach the crunch, we're just going to get off the Aqua Tail with some chip damage. The opponent smartly go for the Sludge Wave, removing me from the field of play. The opponent still has a shield to hide behind. I said earlier I should have baited. Do you think I'm going to bait in this scenario? Absolutely not. We guarantee that final Protect Shield or the damage. The opponent invests that Protect Shield. Quagsire's bulk about to be put to the test. Brine, a garbage move. Toxapex, a non-existent attack stat. Who was worried? Definitely not me. We don't throw a single bait and we take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see Primarina's Prevolution. That's a mouthful. What's this thing called? Brion, I believe. Basically running Charm, but they're not a fairy type, so these Charms aren't getting same type attack bonus for the correct 7 Mud Shots and the Stone Edge, forcing that Protect Shield. The thing about Charm users is they essentially tap their phone and throw charge moves whenever they get them, so anticipating throwing an alignment, I'm able to catch the Aqua Jet onto the big fat Walrus. Out comes Gastrodon. It's super annoying that I was hardly able to align Gyarados with Gastrodon. Again, the opponent throw the charge move soon as they get there. I recognise I'm not going to be able to reach double Icicle Sphere, so I throw the Earthquake, doing the maximum damage I can. Earthquake puts them into the red. And I'm hoping now I can Dragon Breath farm down before they even reach a Body Slam. Gyarados comes in, gets the perfect Dragon Breath farm down. The opponent dies with the Body Slam, and out comes Mandibuzz. It was at this point I very quickly realised why Gyarados is ranked so low. So this, of course, is a type neutral matchup. What I mean by that is everything I'm throwing is hitting for neutral, and everything they're throwing is also hitting me for neutral. Mandibuzz, of course, very, very bulky, hence I call it the bulky annoying vulture, but these air slashes are tearing me apart, despite the non-existent attack stat. I throw the next Aqua Tail on the CMP tie. Unfortunately, it isn't enough to knock out, but this does open up the door for me to shield, Dragon Breath farm down, the opponent not wanting to get farmed down, send back up Brion. Again, you guarantee the shield, all the damage, firing off the crunch. Crunch, force the final protection, we go for the wham, bam, combo play, pivot out into Quagsire. Quagsire able to outpace to the Stone Edge. Stone Edge removes Brion from my screen. Mandibuzz has hardly any HP. Believe it or not, the bulky vulture gets double resisted, Mud Shot farm down, and I emerge victorious. GG's. In the next battle, we've got some Shadow and Shadow Crime. Quagman into the Steel Penguin. Of course, my charge moves are fully walled, but these Mud Shots looking more like Mud Slaps. I invest a Protect Shield here, as if the opponent's staying in, they must be weak. However, I instantly regret it, as out comes Chestnut, and Chestnut, with a 2-to-1 shield advantage, is just going to clap me, or at least it looks that way. I send out Walrein, the opponent able to outpace to the Frenzy Plant. I send out Gyarados. I'm going to have to double shield. Hope the opponent isn't on Thunder Punch, and I get that full farm down. Oh crap, they are on Thunder Punch. Gyarados looks for the farm down. We're just about able to get it. We're down both Protect Shields. Whatever's in the back probably beats me. Back out comes the Penguin. We're going to fire off the Crunch. Crunch removes them from the field of play. And out comes Gallade. If this Gallade was running the correct move of Psycho Cut rather than Nonsense Charm, I'd be screwed. But the opponent, opting for that fast move pressure with slow energy generation, is going to mean, despite being down both Protect Shields, we're going to very quickly force both Protect Shields off this opponent. Quagsire going to be able to reach enough Aqua Tails, removing Gallade from the field of play, and somehow from a dire spot we take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see Dugong in the lead. I think all Dugongs are always going to shield the first move, so this was the easiest bait of my life. But again, we're going to full send. Stone Edge guarantees the shield, all the damage. We're then going to throw one Mud Shot and anticipate them throwing it good timing and catch on Walrein. The opponent instant throw the charge move. So now we're going to throw 6 Mud Shots, anticipate him instant throwing again, and then catch on Walrein. However, we get a frame drop. So not only is this week terrible, why is the game state bad this week as well? Like week 1 and week 2 of the season, I had no issues. However, this week's been terrible. The one turn and the stutter lag is back. I hope Scopely, who have now took over from Niantic, do something about this game, because how long are people going to put up with this god-awful game state? On the day of recording this video, it's actually super early for me. I'm recording this before work. It's going to be Stockholm Regionals today. I think it's embarrassing for Pokemon Go, the amount of disputes we're having currently at these regionals for game state issues. How can people take this as an esport? It's a joke. However, on a more positive subject about Stockholm Regionals, my faction's teammate, the highly talented No Bonfire is entering today, and I really hope he does well. Come on, No Bonfire Head, shock them all and win it all. To this point in this battle, the opponent's thrown every single charge move as soon as they get them, so I anticipate him throwing the charge move as soon as they get him. Attempt to sack Quagsire. The opponent then makes a very nice catch, catching the Aqua Tail onto Dugong. They even stop tapping, recognising I want to farm down with Gyarados. My opponent in this battle has some very nice aspects to their game. Clearly they know how to count and they can recognise certain win cons for themselves. However, their fast move timing isn't particularly good. So to reach legend rank, you just kind of need to pull everything together. Counting quick moves is paramount. Energy management and fast move timing are the other two aspects you need to bring to your game to be regularly at legend rank. The opponent is going to outplay me and we are going to take a heartbreaking defeat. GG's to that opponent. Heading into the next battle, we see Mantine in the lead position. Quagsire can hit for big damage with the Stone Edge, but this is somewhat of an ABB team where we're looking to use Walrein to bait out the electric type, mostly Morpeko. We attempt to catch the aerial ace unsuccessfully and out comes Quagsire. We are going to throw this Icicle Sphere before the opponent potentially reaches the Stone Edge. I think I should always no-shield this move. However, I was anticipating the opponent not baiting. They bait me with an Aqua Tail and I instantly regret that shield. However, regardless, we are going to play the one-shield scenario, forcing our Protect Shield back. I could actually double shield here and Powder Snow farm down, as this one's definitely the Stone Edge, but you can't really leave Gyarados without shield. Stone Edge picks up the one shot. If I would have just called that bait, I'd have been in a much better position. Jamie, where are your balls gone? I send out Gyarados. Gyarados gets a nice farm down. I think my thought process in shielding is this cup is super RPS, so we kind of want to pick our alignment. Back out comes Mantine. So now I'm worried they've got something that's a very hard check for Quagsire. With that in mind, we're going to farm up, catch next aerial ace onto Quagsire, seeing what they've got in the back. Aerial ace doesn't do too much. The opponent then pivots out into Guzzlord. Of course, there is no point in baiting. I'm going to force on the Stone Edge. Stone Edge, force the opponent's final protection. The opponent doesn't throw a charge move, allowing me to reach one further Stone Edge. And just like that, I think I've got a win con. I've got an Aqua Tail banked. I'm going to look to deny the energy. The question is a resisted Aqua Tail from the highly attack weight Gyarados enough to knock out? Yes, it is. And just like that, we're back in the game. Mantine is energy dry. So their win con is fast move beating me down, as I've got a shield to hide behind, so of course I'm always investing it here. We shield up the aerial ace, reach the crunch. Is crunch enough to knock out? Yes it is, and we take that game. In the next battle we see Lapras in the lead. It's kind of funny how dominant this thing is in the Open Great League, an Open Ultra League, but not that good in this meta. So it's going to take him 12 sideways to that Sparkling Aura, so I attempt to catch on Walrein. A lot of people ask, how do you count one turn quick moves? I think the easiest way is to count your own. So if you're using a 2-turn move like I was Mud Shot, 12 sideways is going to be the equivalent of 6 Mud Shots. Of course, if you're using something like Snarl, you're just counting 3, so every Snarl you throw, they're getting 3 sideways. The opponent continues staying, so I fire off the Earthquake, putting them into the red. That's probably Aqua Tail range, but I'm actually going to look to try and load up a little bit of energy. Now, when I'll tank one Sparkling Aura, I'm going to farm up to at least the double, ensuring I've got a charge move ready to go for whatever should come out. Quagsire fires off the Aqua Tail, picking up the knockout. It starts to make sense why the opponent stayed in, as they've got Mandibuzz in their back. Holy cow, this must be extra small. It is tiny. We fire off the Stone Edge, forcing the Protect Shield, and pivot into Gyarados. I've got 2 shields and it's time to start using them. The opponent's probably going to go straight aerial ace, but Gyarados needs to keep health. The opponent continued to stay in. And at this point I'm thinking, oh boy, it's going to be Gastron in the back. The opponent even shields the Aqua Tail, telling me it certainly is that. Very annoying snail in the back. So at this point, I'm thinking, I need to sack Quagsire. I'm hoping my switch timer pops up. Show me the switch timer. Unfortunately, it isn't quite there, so I'm forced to throw this Aqua Tail, which I do on CMP, but Aqua Tail doesn't get the job done. Potentially there, I should have thrown one Dragon Breath before CMP, then instant swapped into Quagsire, anticipating him spamming the move. We're going to fire off this Aqua Tail. The only reason I'm doing this, of course the game's over, I want to see if it is that Gastron I was expecting. Yes, it is. Unfortunately, I didn't play the endgame quite optimally, and we take a defeat. GG's to that opponent. In the next battle, we see Morpeko in the lead. The opponent pivots out into Male Scarada. Of course, I could throw the Icicle Sphere, removing them from the field of play, but what I actually want to do is shield once, leave it 100 energy, then if Morpeko wishes to return, they can play their bait game. I think almost everyone would bait Morpeko, however, I'm not a fan of baiting. If I see it come to the screen, I am full sending the Earthquake, guaranteeing my shield back or picking up the knockout. Earthquake snooks through the Protect Shield, get that Morpeko off my screen. I'm briefly celebrating, but very quickly the celebrations are over, as it is Chestnut in the back, and this thing is dire. The opponent throws after 5, revealing they've probably got Thunder Punch, so I'm forced to burn the shield here. I'm going to farm up, look to make the catch onto Quagsire. The catch attempt is unsuccessful. So I think there, arguably, I should have thrown the Aqua Tail, forced the energy, and then hoped an Aqua Tail from my own Quagsire would be lethal. And I think like this, the opponent held their energy. We're going to get outpaced to the next Thunder Punch, and we are going to take a heartbreaking defeat. I think I certainly had a win con there, despite the opponent running double grass into a triple water team. Kind of frustrating. This day's been frustrating. This week's been frustrating. I'm not playing particularly well, and we take a defeat. GG's that opponent. In the next battle, we see Mantine in the lead again. We go for the aerial ace catch onto the big fat walrus, and again the opponent hold their energy, but they do opt to dump some before lightly pivoting out. The opponent actually continued to stay in, so we may as well throw some energy here. We've still got residual energy should they wish to pivot at some stage. The opponent eventually does pivot out into more Morpeko. Walrein gonna fire off the Icicle Sphere. Icicle Sphere does a lot of damage as Morpeko is insanely glassy. The opponent then continued to farm down. However, Walrein holds strong, firing over the Icicle Sphere. The opponent's actually on 1 HP and they get KO'd through the Protexia, which is like best case scenario. I'm going to send out Gyarados. This could be an Ice Beam, so I'm going to respect it. The opponent just go for the Aerial Ace, which should mean they're only going to reach the part in Aerial Ace. I'm happy to tank this move. No, an Aerial Ace won't do too much, but I say that it puts me below half health. Out comes Shiftry. I think I should just throw the Aqua Tails. I need to save Gyarados for that fast move pressure. Again, just not playing well today. I think it's kind of how it goes. I've got no interest in playing this cup, and I'm super tilted. I'm just not playing well whatsoever. We are going to reach the double Aqua Tail to finally remove Shiftry from the field of play. But as I didn't save Gyarados, we're going to need to reach a charge move. Unable to do so, and again, a very frustrating defeat. But GG's to that opponent regardless. At this point, the tilt has well and truly set in. So when people ask me how to climb, I always say, if you're tilted, stop playing, have a break, go do something else and come back to it when you're thinking clearly. Because at this point, I'm just tapping away. Pretty angry. I wouldn't say angry, just annoyed. I'm not enjoying this cup. I'm not enjoying playing. And a prime example of that is poor decision making. Rage Fist, very easily survivable. We'd always reach the next Aqua Tail. So the correct play here would be tank the Rage Fist and obtain yourself a 2-to-1 shield advantage. I end up playing the ones, which is just a terrible idea for me. As I shielded the Rage Fist, Quagsire looks like it'd be able to reach another Aqua Tail, so we force the energy. This now sets up Gyarados to get a very nice energy lead, so even if they've got more Morpeko, which they do, we should very quickly force the opponent all shields down and set up Walrein with a 1-to-no shield advantage. Walrein hits the field of play, the opponent farms the Aura Wheel, and I'm thinking please, please do not bait me. The opponent full sends the Aura Wheel, then pivot out into Gastrodon. This looks like a winnable game. We either Icicle Sphere that Morpeko or Aqua Tail the Morpeko. So with that in mind, I'm just going to look to overfarm. The opponent just throw the Body Slam, which is an easy tank. I'm thinking, when should I throw the Sphere? I look to farm up to the double, and the opponent actually looked to dump energy. This definitely gives me a win con. Gastrodon will not be reaching a charge move. Gyarados going to get the energy lead it's required to reach the Aqua Tail. Morpeko going to return. We get off a little bit of Dragon Breath damage, ensuring the Aqua Tail is lethal, and Gyarados is a Morpeko counter confirmed. Really, I'm kidding, but we take that game. Heading into the final battle of today's video, we see Chestnut in the lead. Awful, awful for me. I could have thrown the Icicle Sphere instantly, but I was anticipating the opponent catching it on something that does resist ice. Of course, water is one of the allowed typings, so plenty of things that do resist that ice type damage. They stay in, fire off the Frenzy Plant, and then send out a Mantine. We've now got a huge energy lead. Walrein going to do the best it can, spamming out Icicle Sphere after Icicle Sphere. Unfortunately, it's not quite as spam as it once was. I'm sure you OGs remember when Walrein first got his double legacy moves of Icicle Sphere and Powder Snow respectively. It used to be 5-4 to them charge moves, which was crazy. It dominated the meta. We're actually able to take back Switch. Well, I'm not really sure how much Switch helps me, as we haven't really got a great answer for this Chestnut. Gyarados hitting for neutral with the Dragon Breath and only taking neutral from the Violets, but the Thunder Punch would be double super effective. We are going to respect the Thunder Punch. The opponent then sends out Morpeko, bank the Aqua Tail off the road and send out the Quagman. Win con for me is them not having Seed Bomb. It's been a pretty rough day. Do they have Seed Bomb? Of course they do. And we're going to end the video with Jamie Finn getting clapped one last time. GG's to that opponent. So of course, would I recommend this team? Absolutely not. I tanked like 115 elo. Not that's where my frustrations lie. Losing 115 elo in week 3 of the season is neither here nor there. It's pretty irrelevant. However, my main frustrations lie with the 2 cups we've currently got. This absolute nonsense RPS Cup or the pay to win Master League. Members of my Discord are currently saying, a lot of them, they're having a week off and they've got no intention of playing either of their metas. They haven't got Master League Pokemon and they hate the Scroll Cup. At the start of the season, we had a fantastic move update. I saw a huge surge in interest, and immediately, week 3, you've killed that. If you want this game to continue to thrive, Niantic, Scopely, Pokemon Go, whoever I need to address, you always need to ensure you've got a fun cup or just a playable league available at all times. With that being said, If you enjoyed the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, a link to my battles mission form is down below. And a huge thanks to everyone for watching, and a huge thanks for the support, finally getting the channel to 10k. I'll see you all in the next one.